Hello everyone. In previous classes we are done with scope of international business. Scope means future hope or the objective of the international business, and in today's class we are going to speak about the importance of the international business. So here the market expansion brings foreign exchanges. It is spreading of business risk. S is missing there. Economies of scale, cost advantage, improves the international relationship, provide employment opportunities, government support. So these all are the importance which you have already studied. Let's see once again one by one. Market expansion. International business are open to perform the business in different countries across the globe. Okay, so when you are entering into the international business, then you have a lot of opportunities. As an international company, you can expand your market, you can increase the market share. These businesses keeps on expanding its activities and explore the new markets for selling more and more products. Okay, if there is opportunities, then you can sell more and more products. The international business earns high amount of the profit. Okay, when the market is expanding, when you are increasing your market share, the profit also will increase, which helps them to expanding their market share. Okay, so once again, when your profit is increasing, you can expand or increase the market share more. Brings foreign exchange. Okay, so as I said in the previous classes, foreign exchange reserves plays very important role to know about the position of any particular economy. Okay, so if there is a international trade, if there is more and more export, then that brings more foreign exchange, more foreign currencies as a reserve in your hand. Okay, the foreign exchange earned by the business helps in the overall economic development of the country. So that will help in overall economic development of the country. Spreading of business risk. If any company is operating in different countries, then obviously the risks are very less. Okay, so about the environment of the international business, we say it as PESTLE analysis: political, economical, socio-cultural, technological and legal environment, right? So if a company is restricted for one particular country, then they are going to face all the risk altogether, right? But if the company is spread over the different geographical areas or different countries, then they may not face all the risk at a time. In one country, if there is a political instability risk, then that may not be the case of another country. In one country, if there is a legal risk, that may not be the case of another country, right? So the advantage is more. They are not going to face all the risk altogether, or else the spreading the risk or diversification of risk is there, and this is one of the advantage of international business. Economies of scale. So economies of scale means it is the scale or production where the profit or the advantage of the company is more, and it is the point where the cost of the company is less. Correct? So if any company is operating internationally, then they can achieve the economies of scale. So these businesses are able to enjoy the economies of scale due to their large scale operations. So economies of scale can be identified or observed only when there is a large scale operations, and in the international business we can observe the same. Cost advantage. So as I said, since there is a large scale operation, cost advantage is also there. International business takes cost advantage over its competitors by producing the goods in one country and exporting them in another country. They carry on their productions in a country where factors of productions are easily and cheaply available. Okay? The factors of productions like land, labor, capital, etc. are cheaply available. This helps in minimizing the cost of productions and earn the huge profits by selling them at a better prices in other countries. When a company is enjoying the cheaper cost of production, then definitely the prices are also very less, and sometimes some of the cost of productions like a labor may be cheaper in one particular country and raw materials may be cheaper in one particular country, so the company can buy those factors of productions where it is cheaper, and so that they can achieve the cost advantage. Then it improves the international relationship. So international business helps in strengthening the economic relationship among the nations. This business helps other nations by exporting them goods of their requirements. See, the relationship of Sri Lanka and China is getting stronger nowadays, right? Even the relationship between Bangladesh and China, even we can say the US and India, US and Israel, is it? So this is because of the international trade. So India is imported the fuel from the US and even from the Israel. So international trade helps in developing the relationship of the countries. It provides the employment opportunities. See, usually if any business is going for any particular economy or any country, then they will appoint at least few of the employees from that particular country itself. Okay. For example, if Infosys is operating in US, then they are going to appoint a few human resources from the US itself, correct? So that the host country will get benefit. Then government support, obviously the government will support for the international trade, because the international trade will contribute to improvement in the economic conditions. The business also enjoy the government support for carrying out their operations and expanding their size. The government provides the tax and financial benefits to those businesses as they earn a large amount of the foreign resource for the country. So some of the subsidies will be given, some of the help will be provided for those companies which are exporting or expanding their business for the foreign countries. So going international, we have to observe these all things. Is there an international demand for the firm's product? If there is international demand for the firm's product, go to the next step. If there is no international demand, then stay domestic. Okay. For example, if any company is producing a watch, then if there is a international demand, then they can go for the next step. If there is no demand, then there is no need to go for the international trade, right? So there is no need to enter into any foreign market. So if there is a demand for the firm's product, then can the product be modified to fit the foreign market? Can they modify that particular product to fit the market of the host country or the foreign country? For example, automobiles. See, in foreign countries, the traffic rule is we have to drive in right side, but in India, the traffic rule is we have to drive in a left side, correct? So you might be observed the steering of the vehicles and even the accelerator, clutch and the brake of the vehicles in a foreign country is in the left side. If you are able to modify the side of this, then only you can enter into the Indian market, am I right? So this is even applicable for the Indian companies. So suppose if they are going for the international market, then they have to modify their product. Let's assume Mahindra and Mahindra is going for the US. Then they have to produce their jeeps in such a way where the steering, brake, clutch, gear, everything is in the left side. Is it? So this is one. Is the foreign business climate suited to imports? So we have to observe the geographical condition too. Okay, if it is yes only, does the firm have or can it get the necessary skills and knowledge to do the business abroad? Whether the skills and the knowledge are available in that particular area. Okay, if all these questions are answered positively, then only a firm can go to the international business. When a firm can go to the international business, if there is a demand for firm's product in the international market, if the company's product can be modified to fit the foreign market, and if the foreign market climate is suitable for the import, and if the skills and knowledge are available in that particular economy. Suppose any of these aspects are no, then the company should not go to the international business. So that's it for today's class. In coming classes, we are going to study the approaches of the international business.